Hello, I'm Yanis. I'm representing company ARETAI from Latvia. Our company is producing high-end loudspeakers. They are built and manufactured in Latvia, which has long-standing woodworking traditions and high quality of craftsmanship. All our speakers are made of quality wood products, and woods are actually covering 55% of Latvian territory. So it's a very green country, and it's very important for us to follow the ecological principles in our production. We built the speakers to surpass the existing boundaries of high quality sound, and our mission is to give the best possible experience not just in studios but at your home. And for this we developed special technology of waveguide, which makes the balance of the sound at home more natural by bending high frequencies more sideways. As rooms are reflective, it's very important to have proper spectral balance from reflections at your home. And unlike studios where everything is damped, at homes reflections play an important part. The human hearing makes summation, integration of the direct sound and reflected sound. Therefore, speakers must be built and designed taking this into account, and this is what we have done with our ARETAI Contra collection. The direct signal and reflected spectrum are very similar, even in reflecting rooms. Therefore, our speakers are room agnostic and give maximal quality at normal homes without special room treatment. So it's not necessary. You can just use them as is. So how it all started? When I was in the high school, I was already building my first speakers with my cousin. We took some ready product and then we tried to modify it, and it was a success. We really could improve the sound, and that was the first step that gave me confidence that it is possible, actually. And after that, during my studies, I was experimenting a lot with different drivers, different ready-made speakers to improve the sound, because I was always unsatisfied with the sound I can buy in the shop, and that was really challenging process. And I studied a lot of literature regarding the sound. My main profession was in IT, data centers and cloud services, but I was studying on my free time the AAS papers, which is a huge library of of Audio Engineering Society, and it's a lot of very valuable information in there from as far from the past as 1960s and 1970s. It's a huge knowledge. Much of it have already been forgotten. Therefore, but it's still applicable for today, for today's design of the speakers. Then when I was working on the first prototype for 5 years, at some point when I went to high-end Munich fair, which is the largest in the world, takes place in May in Germany, I realized that the prototype I've been building has already matured that far that we can go and participate in this show. So in 2018, as a result, I founded ARETAI along with my business partner Edgars Virziņš, who is our chief designer, and with whom I have co-developed all of our products.
Konnichiwa, my name is Edgars Zvirgzdiņš, and I'm the co-founder of ARETAI. I'm the design director there. I studied design at University of Brighton in England, and after graduating I returned to Latvia to start my own design studio. It's called Associates Partners at Sons. We design branding and exhibitions, books. We have been doing that for the last 13 years. And before that, I already started designing when I was in high school. So I can say that I have been designing for 20 years, although I'm only 36 years old. And design is my passion. I think that design is a way how we can solve a lot of problems, and not only solve them rationally, but also in an empathetic way, in a way that lets you help other people and can connect people emotionally and bring joy to everyone.
In total, 3 models of the speakers: the Contra 100S, that is stand mount model, also Contra 200F and 350F, that are floor standers, designed for larger rooms, more capable of higher SPLs, so you can really drive them very loud and they are still playing very clean. Regarding our future plans, we are now developing some new products. I'm not discovering more details at the moment, but one of them could be a subwoofer, which is compact in size but can reinforce the bass part in rooms where it's necessary, because every room is different and some rooms are very difficult to get the proper bass in. So for those kinds of situations, the subwoofer can, or even better, several subwoofers will come to help and make more balanced bass response in the room. When designing our speakers and prototyping, we paid attention on several qualities at the same time. One of them is to have absolute clarity in the sound. To achieve this, we had a long prototyping period of several years for each product, when we tried to find the best drivers that can deliver clarity even at high volumes of reproduction. The second very important design aspect was to get rid of any coloration of the sound, which is usually caused by resonances inside the speaker's enclosure, resonances of the driver membranes, some electric resonances. And when we design those products, we try to fix the resonances that can be fixed acoustically first. Then, if they cannot be fixed acoustically, we fix them electronically in crossover. Then the third aspect, very important, if speaker has several drivers, it should have good time alignment between drivers, because there is some overlapping region in the frequency response, and if sound comes with some timing delay from 2 sources, it doesn't sound natural anymore. Therefore, it's very important that in this overlapping region, the sound comes exactly at the same time from both drivers here. Only then, for example, vocals will sound natural and pleasant to the ear. And then the fourth aspect of the design was to have our speakers very clean looking. As you see, there is no screws visible anywhere outside, so it's a very clean and minimalist design, and this is where we feel very connected with Japanese culture, as we know that you also like things to be very clean, very minimalist, and we really feel the connection with Japanese culture in this design aspect.
When I worked on the design of the speakers, I was inspired by minimalism, having clarity, purity. Sometimes when you look and see nothing, it is a challenge. But in the times when we live in a world which is with a lot of visual noise, a lot of adverts targeting us, like you go around in Tokyo and you see so many lights. But sometimes you need that calmness and peace. And therefore I looked at the speaker as an object that would radiate this peace and even, I could say, silence, because when it's not playing, it's sitting there silently. In a way, that also is very interesting thought to think about the sound of the objects or how the visual translates to the sound. I have been inspired by Japanese architect Kengo Kuma, who is very interesting architect, and I had the lovely opportunity to meet him years ago. And also the German designer Dieter Rams, who designs brown objects, and also Bauhaus with the geometry and the approach, and different other kinds of modern design approaches, like even user interfaces can make you think about how white looks on white, or how little shadow you want to cast sometimes. And with these speakers also, when we designed for the 100S, the decoupling pad which is under it, we looked that we don't want to have it in the width and of the speaker. We want to have it a bit narrower, so it almost floats in the air when we see it on the table. And having that lightness, but also pureness of form, a mindful approach that if it's straight because we thought of it. If it's round because we need it to be round. And this kind of approach, informed me and helped me come up with the design. When we look at the loudspeaker, on the very front you can notice the crown. That's the logo of ARETAI. But it started out with the idea that ARETAI is excellence and virtue. And for us, how to transform it into a visual icon. And for me, when I worked on it, I thought about, I really like how amplifiers have the VU meters, to have that audio connection, but change that connection with audio, the VU meter, into a crown, because excellence is to be the best, to be crowned that you have achieved something in, here it's in audio field. And for us it was putting a little crown above ARETAI, and on the speakers we don't want to be so showing off, so we just put the crown on the front, and ARETAI with the crown is on the back. And this crown is like for us also a reminder to strive for perfection, to be the best, to work on that the speaker looks and works and sounds the best. Another interesting thing with the speaker is that if you look anywhere on the speaker, you cannot see any screws. There are zero screws visible if you walk around, because it was one part of also our philosophy that the speakers that we design, they should live well in people's living room. Yes, you can put them in listening rooms for audiophiles, but we want to bring them also to audiophile living rooms, that you don't need to go down in the basement, build a special room or build an extension to your house, but to have a room where you can live You can spend your life with quality music. Yanis took care about the audio aspects of that, and I worked really hard with Yanis and my team to work on that the visual aspects of the speaker also match that it looks good in the living room, that you can bring your friends to the party and they can enjoy it. You don't need to go down in the basement to do it. An interesting thing that when we worked and developed our waveguide, we found that it increases the high frequency area much higher and lower and much wider. So therefore it's very good for the living room because it's not only two positions on the sofa. You can listen with your cat or dog. You can have your kids around and they can have a good sound experience. You can even have friends in a back row behind the sofa and have a good listen. Or you can stand up and it won't sound that you have put on a fishbowl on your head or an aquarium.
The most challenging thing in speaker development was to have the proper sonic balance in the room, in the reflective room. And this is so hard because, as I mentioned to many already, the reflections and direct sound, they sum together, and when humans perceive the sound, it's direct sound combined with reflected. And on the mid-range frequencies, it could be as little as half decibel to make the change, and the whole balance can be ruined or improved. And it's so thin window of changes that when you get the right balance, it's like clicks into the place and you just know it, that yes, this is it, and you change nothing afterwards. So this part is the most challenging, as it involves acoustic and electronic parts to be in perfect combination. So the loudspeaker cabinet does some acoustic distortions, which should be compensated in crossover, and so it's a fine-tuning process to get this fine balance for the mid-range against other frequencies. So I would say that's the most challenging part of any loudspeaker design. Another challenge, which I almost caused me almost like to give up at some point, was to have a proper bass. And any room changes the bass. It gives some reinforcement in some frequencies and some dips in other frequencies. So it's always like this in any room, depending on the room's dimension. And therefore, it's very hard to design speakers that fit all rooms. There are room AQ or room correction software, which doesn't always work. And there are people who like analog sound, so this is not for them, obviously, because for room AQ you need some DSP solution and frequency response correction. Well, it can be done with analog equalizer, but it's not so precise. So what we did for bass improvement was to align our speakers for particular room sizes. For example, the Contra 100S, these models that are shown here are optimized and equalized for small rooms. The Contra 200F, which is our medium floor standard, for small to medium rooms, and the Contra 350F is designed to complement very large rooms. So their bass level against other frequencies is different to suit each type of the room.
When we developed the design philosophy in 2018, we worked on building the principles that will define ARETAI Contra series. What are the basic rules that guides us when we design them? And first of all, it was the white round waveguide. So we had developed the form of it, and we knew that the circular shape will have also organic, smooth back. And we wanted to have a contrast. In a way, it's a wordplay also on Contra, with the base of the speaker. So we developed the base of the speaker that the lines are very straight. So it's a rectangular box. And to achieve the good sound in it, Yanis had to work on building these specific inlets for the drivers so that the sound can warp around the edges, so that it's not hitting the straight edge of the speaker. And also, we saw that there are a lot of speakers with piano finish, like piano black or piano white, and we wanted to stand out. And for me as a designer, working with paper that is not coated but it's uncoated, to have a texture and feeling not only visual but also tactile. So when you touch it, it has a very warm wood feeling. So we worked with our specialists to have this matte black and the matte white for the base models colors, and the waveguide almost looks like it is made from porcelain. It's like almost to the touch and to the eye, it's almost like a cup before it gets filled with a tea. And for the base, also this matte black color, which is maybe not too brightly black, but it sits very comfortably and easy in the room. Color is something that is not that widely used in the loudspeaker market, and it is in a way a niche for us, and people really like how the matte white looks on the waveguide and also on the speaker. It's something new and something exciting. As I mentioned earlier, having no screws was very important for us, because we want you as a customer to have the best experience visually in your living room with the speaker. And one of the most challenging parts for when designing the speaker, besides that, was how to integrate and put in the waveguide, because it's a completely separate part from the speaker. It is not one part with the rest of it. It works as a drawer. So basically, we can pull it out and put it in. And it has a very clever system which we found how to make for attaching it to the rest of the corpus. Sadly, I cannot reveal it to you, but make sure that it doesn't move at all when it's attached. But when we need it, we can disassemble it. And if we need to make any replacements, it's all possible to do. Another interesting part about Contra is that all of the speakers have a back driver. And here in the Contra 100S, it works in a push-push mode. Also, as you see, the back plate also doesn't have any screws, no screws in the corners. The ARETAI Contra features go through all of the three speakers, and the design doesn't change. It is just the power which they can output, and also the other sound effects and the aspects technical that are different because of the size and also the components.
So, how did we get to the name of the company is what people often ask. And I've been thinking of the name for a long time. Actually, it took me like 2 years to come to this name. And the ARETAI is the ancient Greek word. My wife, Agnes, is an ancient Greek specialist. She knows the language very well. And I was asking her, how is the name excellence is in ancient Greek? And she said ARETAI. So I like this word very much. So that was it. We decided to keep it. And it works very well. And I think it's easy to pronounce in many languages, so we kept it. Regarding industries in Latvia, we have a long-standing woodworking tradition. We have large factories manufacturing furniture. For example, there is a very large factory working for IKEA and many other furniture producers choose Latvia as their main point of production. Also, we have very strong industries from pharmaceutical sector. The IT is very strong in Latvia, and we are doing exports all over the world from different industries. We would love working with Japanese partners and for you to enjoy our products at your homes. And we would love to see our products bringing you new experience and improving the quality of your lives, because that's the reason why we do what we do. Arigato.